Okay, remember this set I was talking to you about, Amazing You, which is free in the catalog? Hopefully you're not getting any glare. Anyway, the stamp set is free with a $50 purchase, as well as they also have coordinating dies that are free. In fact, I didn't get those little paper pieces pushed out of there. If you ever get these stuck with a little bit of paper in the little crevices, you just poke them out with anything sharp that you've got. But anyway, what I do is, this came with a $100 purchase, you got these dies, and with $50 you got the stamp set. So for $150 you got this free. And I store, when I get a coordinating die set, I store them on these little sheets, and I buy these at the hardware store. They're just the little vent covers. They're adhesive and they're magnetic. So I get these and trim them to the size I need them, and then I store everything together so that I know exactly where that this goes with that. Which really, to me, it saves me time. I don't have to go looking for what goes with what. So that's what I do. This set comes as a red rubber stamp. So this you can still use with your clear adhesive blocks, and or you can use it with your Stamparatus when you get that. But what I did is, this one, I used the free ribbon, as you can kind of see. I stamped the floral image using Memento ink. And it's very important to use Memento ink if you're going to use the Stampin' Blends, because that way your image won't blur up when you're coloring. If you use a regular black pad, they will muddy up and you won't be happy with your results. So if you're going to use Stampin' Blends, you've got to use the Memento ink pad. And as you'll notice, my greenery stems are not black. Now, this stamp set, as it sits, it's the image shows that comes all together as one. Well, I don't know about you, but I just thought, you know, I'd really like to have green stems. I don't want black. So what I did is I performed stamp surgery, and I trimmed it apart. I've got some rubber, these actually I got from Stampin' Up! Many years ago. I'm sure you can find these on Amazon, and I'd be glad to research and find some for you if you're interested in it. But these are the scissors that you used to have to use to trim the red rubber before you posted them on the wooden blocks. That's just how they came. So some people still like to use the wood blocks. I don't, now that I've gotten away from them. But they do still sell some of their stamp sets with red rubber. And the advantage is that you get that additional padding when you push down. So that's the pros and cons between photopolymer, which is, let's see if I've got one I can show you. Photopolymer, where is it? Of course I don't have one to show you at the moment. But photopolymer are clear, and they're very thin, and they work great. And I don't seem to have a problem with them, but they do offer this as an option. So with that said, what I did is I took the full image that was there, and I trimmed the flower away from the green stems, or the stems. Now, I can always put this back together again if I want to stamp it as one, because all I have to do is take my block, peel off the little paper, stick it on, stick this on, kind of find the spot that fits well, and there you go. Okay, so you can still do that, but I like the option of being able to stamp the flower by themselves, or even the greenery by themselves. So that's what I did. I will tell you, I made a little mask for this image so that then I could come along and stamp right beside it and not go over my flower image. So I just stamped right beside in green, and it worked beautifully. So that's my little 2 bits. If you're interested in extending your stamps, I highly recommend that. I've also noticed that when using red rubber period, I get a better, clearer image if I trim the excess away from that image. So I do a lot of that. I won't worry about little images, but I will, like this one. I haven't done this one yet, but it's very easy. You just got to be a little careful as you go around corners. Now, I wouldn't worry so much about that little long piece, but I would come in here and probably snip that off. I find that it's very easy when you're stamping with red rubber. It's easy to get ink outside of the image, and you may know what I'm talking about, but you'll stamp something and you'll see the stamp, but you'll also see a faint outline of the outer red rubber on there. And it just means that you picked up a little too much ink, you were heavy-handed, you know, you pushed too hard, something. But to get a really nice clean image, I find it just helps you if you trim some of that excess away. Then you don't ever have to worry about catching that surface again. So it's very simple. It just helps, you know, it helps you to be able to line things up, helps you to be able to see a little bit better. So, you know, I do that on my red rubber. I trimmed out this Sale-A-Bration. As you can see, it was much larger. Now it barely fits in that little spot because it took so much out, which is fine, doesn't bother me. But, and I started to take it out of this one, and you can see I stopped. I think I was going to show you what to do, but I just come along there and trim as close to that as I can without getting into the image. So you can see there's just a little bit of red rubber on the outside. So when I stamp that, I'm not going to get that shadow effect of say this. So, you know, it just makes you be a little bit more successful as you're stamping. So keep that in mind. So enough of that, but I did want to show you these 2 samples. This one I used the dies, the U and Amazing. I stamped the R Simply. I stamped these, and then I actually, what they call fussy cut them out. And I just used my little sharp scissors, trimmed around those, popped one up, put 2 down, and it just gives dimension. So, and then the Amazing, I layered the pink one with a slight shadow using a black Amazing. So I cut out 2 images, one in pink and one in black, and then just layered them so that they just slightly overlap to give that little shadow. So it just adds a little dimension. And on this one, I used the Celebrate and the U. I used the Stampin' Blends on both. I used a little bit of Wink of Stella on the wording and in the center of these flowers, just to give them a little pop. So little, you know, they're just kind of fun. And I will tell you also that another purchase that I made that I use a lot, and that's these three, well, not three, there's several, but these three little packages of layering dies and circles. I have, these are little stitched framelit dies, and they're ovals and circles and squares. But these are all fantastic to use for things like this. They make perfect circles and ovals. I've used these on many projects. So these are great to layer, and they layer together, they nest. So if you're looking for something that you will use over and over again, these are a great purchase. So just FYI on that. So anyway, I think that's it for that one, and I'm going to move on for another video and talk to you about the Perfect Party Suite. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.